There's Fire Marshal Bill. So that was the, let me tell you something. There's one. The Canadian artist that I have stand in the last decade is Jim Carrey. For anyone who doesn't know who Jim Carrey is, you have been living under a rock. He's been around since, the early 90s, and I think I started watching him on television with a show called In Living Color. I think in the last few years, what's drawn me into him the most was after watching the documentary Jim and Andy, where he talked about his process of reenacting the life of Andy Kaufman and sort of how he got lost in that character.
When I heard I had the part, I was looking at the ocean, and that's the moment when Andy came back to make his movie.
Hello.
Universal didn't want the footage we took behind the scenes to surface so that people wouldn't think I was an asshole.
The sort of spiritual fallout of that, or the personal sort of awareness that he gained from that, to me was really, really insightful to sort of my own spiritual journey. The first time I watched Jim and Andy was about 2 years ago, and I was going through sort of a personal shift in myself. There was something in the movie that, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I think he said something along the lines of, I had everything I wanted and I was so unhappy. And it helped him to realize that all of those things are not what makes you happy. And I remembered having this moment myself in my music career where I was on stage at Radio City Music Hall and I looked out into the audience and I just remember thinking, I'm miserable. Why am I so unhappy right now? And it was in that moment that I realized that everything I'd been doing was for this, kind of illusion, this world that I was participating in was not a world I really wanted to be in. I wanted to be an artist, but I didn't want to do that. It's been really beautiful to see somebody who was so invested in a career of being this huge celebrity and huge star have this awakening and move towards something that felt more true to him. I think that Jim Carrey has evolved into a beautiful human being, and I know that there are a lot of people out there who think that he's kind of gone into a level of, not being very grounded, but I think he's the most grounded he's ever been. So Jim, thank you for being yourself, for being open and always being true to your art. You are truly appreciated.